Hi, we're the Way of the Leaf. Welcome back. This is our weekly recap of Amazon Prime's Wheel of Time. This week we're talking about episode 3. It's The Seeds of Shadow. It's written by Beverly Okio and directed by Thomas Napper. With us, as always, is our two show watchers. They've not read the books at all. We have Lady Kathryn and G-Mama. Welcome, ladies. This episode starts off pretty hot. We get a nice little Forsaken meeting as the cold open. There's our girl Lanfear. She's talking to two others. One that we don't recognize and one we do. She's talking to Lord Gabriel, guys. His real name is Ravine.
So does he is he the type of Forsaken that like takes over bodies? So like Gabriel is hidden away somewhere, or has Gabriel been a Forsaken like all along since he's been raising living with more gays?
Was it Forsaken like hidden away and couldn't be? So I don't know. Unless
they were just broken out. They were just broken out, so it can't be that he's been there all along. So I guess he's the kind of Forsaken that takes on a different body. Like,
does this make the princess evil?
Elaine?
They've got the two people searching. Yeah. Does this make her? Because I don't know.
They were drinking together. They're boozing it up together. Yeah. So, but he very much says that for the last 10. If you ask anyone, they believe that for like the last decade, we've been hopelessly in love. Even though he's been out for 2 months?
Right. Yeah.
It could be memory.
Really him or he's just talking as if he's Gabriel. Yeah. So it was definitely one of the questions I came away from.
Yeah.
You came away.
No, I love that question though. What does that mean for Elaine also?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I did not think that he had taken over someone's body. I didn't even think of that. I thought that maybe he had taken over their memories.
Well, let me ask on a deeper level, when we see later here or in the last episode when Elaine met with Gabriel, it was a warm embrace. She seemed to know him, but has she ever met Lord Gabriel ever?
I think so. I got the impression that he was around for a very long time.
Well, I mean, let's put it together. They just got released.
So he couldn't have been.
I'm talking about Lord Gabriel. I'm not talking about the Forsaken.
Okay.
Wasn't that the question? Does Elaine even know Lord Gabriel?
Correct.
Right. So my thinking is yes, because he's been around for a very long time. What I got the impression that he's been with more gays as the prince consort for many, many years.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I thought a different way. I thought he included himself into everyone's memory so that they thought that they knew him.
Well, again, you're talking about the Forsaken, right?
Yeah, that the Forsaken had weaseled himself into everyone's memories as this position. That's what my thought was.
Yeah, you've only been free a month. Yeah. So there was a Lord Gabriel. He is still alive, or is he dead?
Yeah, that's that. I think. I mean, yeah. My thinking was, maybe he's still alive somewhere, and now the Forsaken is just picking him up. But maybe he had to kill him in order to take over his body and mind. Obviously, well, seems to have like the right memories too, like you're saying, because he knows people, right? It's not like he's totally clueless.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. They're there with another person, Samuel. Kind of looks
really
like
grumpy Scottish dude.
Yeah, his soldier guy with the scar.
Angry. He seems quite angry.
I had no idea who he was.
Yeah, I don't know who he was either. Just some angry Scottish Forsaken. That's all I got.
Lanfear pretty much warns them, saying, "Hey, listen, Mogideon is bad news, guys. We gotta maybe team up against her or something. I don't know. She's bad news." And they warp away. Whoop.
Yeah, and he made a comment that like the last time we did this, there was more fighting amongst all of us than there was kind of with everyone else too. So he's like, you're basically saying you want to do that again, like, or you think we can team up? That's not happening. Like we don't team up. We fight amongst ourselves.
Does this mean that the idea of her leaving and going back to Andor was either something the Forsaken wanted, or was it something? Is he controlling the Queen? Is she evil too? I mean, it brings in a lot of questions that I didn't. I was thinking.
And they have a fascinating conversation, and a lot is kind of touched upon in this. At one point, he asks Lanfear, "If you're so powerful, why isn't the Great Lord speaking to you, and why aren't you nameless?"
Nameless is.
Well, as they were talking, the context, it sounds like Nameless is in like the boss of all the Forsaken. So just through the conversation they were having, I didn't know that name, but then to me it seemed like the sort of the one in charge.
Like Ishi would have been.
Like Ishi would have been, exactly. And that's who the Dark One was talking to. So to kind of get the message to all the Forsaken was through that one. So I had never heard that term when they were.
Lanfear and Samael leave. Ravine is by himself. No, wait. Moghedien is there, softly in the shadows.
He's always softly in the shadows, huh?
Seems like she's with her ferocious bowl cut. The
Spider Woman
and forehead.
Yep.
Hey, you know what? It doesn't get in her eyes that way.
Ravine touches her cheek all nicely, and they kind of chuckle menacingly.
Yeah, so it seems like they're in cahoots. But again,
and she has ideas.
You can't trust any of the Forsaken, clearly. I mean, you never know who's out for who.
Well, she also has an idea not to trust
Lanfear.
Celine, Lanfear.
Yeah.
And then they come out with the patented face touching.
Some more face touching,
more face touching, prominent move in the Wheel of Time.
Bearded men touching people's faces.
The Forsaken like to touch each other's faces a lot.
But it's so dark right there. It's so dark right there. He almost looks like the guy Ishi. Because it's so dark, and you just see the beard. It almost
beard, yeah.
It gets hard because it's really dark.
After that, we get the full credit sequence, the long version. Finally, it's a good one. It's not the best, but I think it's a good one. I like how the threads, the pattern. I don't know.
Yeah, every couple episodes, I like when there's a big opening credit. I like watching it. Not every time.
It's progressed. It's different than the last one, so I like it. I'm watching it to see what's different.
It pops in to have Varen is talking to Nynaeve and Elaine, and she's kind of filling them in on Black Aja stuff. She's like, all right, we got 2 of them, but they ain't spilling the beans. They're saying that Leandrin, they're trying to find out where Leandrin's going. Leandrin, one of them says that Leandrin is off to Tyr. The other one says that that Leandrin is like going to Kalendor. Tyr's Kalendor's in Tyr. The other one says that she's off to go find the false dragon, Mazrim Taim, in Saldea. But that they don't really buy that so much. They think that they're probably where Leandrin is going somewhere else, and so they go. After that, they go into the room where her son was, where her son died. I guess the last place where Nynaeve had like spied on her. They're looking around. They're like, nothing in this drawer, nothing under this bed. Wait a minute, there is actually something under this bed. It was like a weird chalk and salt
line or painting or something. Yeah,
a magic rune. And they find out that this kind of thing, it's one of 2. It's like one half is like at the place of their death, and the other half is at the place of their birth. There it is. Good job, right?
And they find it in a book. Then they just start researching in the library.
Right. Yeah, so their whole journey of trying to figure out what's going on with the Black Aja, they, I guess they're like, okay, let's go, like you said, tour where Leandrin kept her son. That's like, so they're like full on like Magnum PI all through Teflon.
Magnum PI, I like that.
Saw that design, and then went back to the library and found that design or whatever in the book.
Yeah, and they decide that actually Leandrin is probably going to Tanchico. They're not going to Saldea or Tyr. Probably going to the place of her birth, coastal city of Tanchico. We can go get a tan, ride mopeds, drink little coffees.
It was like that, like when they showed kind of that shot. It was like this little like kind of peninsula, looked like Monaco or something like that. Like I'll go there.
Yeah.
Last time they went, you saw that.
Yeah. The next scene has this confrontation with Elida trying to go see the Amerlin, and she gets blocked, ostensibly.
Yeah, they're like, I'm sorry.
Right now.
She only sees sitters, and you're not a sitter, so go talk to your sitters. She's not treated very well.
Decides to get on the sitter.
When she goes to her Aja, she is not treated well. When she goes,
I don't know. I think she's conniving, and they know it. Because doesn't she wind up getting to be a sitter?
Yeah, she does say, well,
right.
We're going to need someone in the meantime.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I agree, right? She's, and I think we talked about this last time, she doesn't seem to really be respected by the people that she's encountering there. I mean, she's been an Aes Sedai for a long time, but no one there really knows her or cares. But she is very conniving. She's like very manipulative, right? She brought like the berries and like the gift. She brought all these gifts to kind of win favor. And they're like, nah. I think the one girl was like, sure, I'll take the berries. Thanks. Thanks. That's not my style. It's gaudy like you.
That shot right there, if you pull it back up again, some of these cinematic shots look like Renaissance paintings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everything's perfect. The lighting, everything.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
It's gorgeous.
So yeah, to Grace's point, they're like, yeah, why don't you keep that? I hate it. Thanks, but no. It's gaudy like you. She's like, I did not expect this. But she does kind of remind him, she's like, okay, yeah, you're not letting me go. Yeah, wasn't it just like last month that you weren't allowed in to see the Amerlin herself? Like none of you guys?
Yeah, if I'd been there, we would have gotten in.
Yeah, maybe that's what she was saying, huh? Look at that floral arrangement. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Stunning.
Ottoman.
See, the Reds return to our rightful place. What do you think she's getting at? What's her motivation here?
HBIC.
Power. Yeah, power. I mean, whether it's Amerlin or not, the competition we've already seen that there was competition. I think they already mentioned that the Reds have lost favor. So,
Kathryn and Grace, we haven't seen it, so this is pure speculation. But how do you think they pick an Amerlin? What do you? Is it a vote? Is it a arm wrestling match? What is it?
Like a conclave of sorts, probably, right? So they like all the Aja need to come in. Maybe they, maybe everyone's coming back, and then depending on the
black
color
smoke.
of smoke, depending on the color of smoke that goes
I think it's gray.
I feel like it's
a boy.
Somewhat democratic, like where people kind of get to either vote or have a say. Each Aja probably has a certain vote, but right then there's all the politicking that needs to go into making sure that the Aja is gonna vote for you.
Yeah, do you think they all vote, every single sister, or do you think it's just the
It's like the electoral college. I think just the sitters do.
Mm.
I don't know if there's like I don't want to say like vision quest, but if there's a quest, because if she's going to be HBIC, she needs to be pretty powerful, and that she needs to prove how powerful she is. Right. So I think they have to narrow it down by who's the bigger badass to find out before they, do the vote. Sure. They can't vote on everyone. They've got to narrow it down. Okay, she's really strong. Okay, it'll be those two. Yeah. Instead of, I don't know, that's what think.
Yeah, I was just wondering how you pictured it.
Maybe it's like one of those like Ninja Warrior games where they have to like go and do all the different competitions, and then
it's like Thunderdome.
Timer first at the top.
Isn't Harry Potter?
Two men enter, 1 man leave.
Yeah, like what's it called? Yes, in Goblet of Fire, the Triwizard Tournament.
Yes, can't forget that. Alida came in the retinue with Alad, Gawain, Queen Morghese, and Gabriel. Is Gabriel a part of this in any way?
Is Gabriel a part of what? Do you mean?
Well, I mean, she very surprisingly left her advisor in the White Tower.
Oh, you mean is he trying to get power into the evil power into the becoming the head person or something like that?
Yeah, I mean,
probably.
I'm very open about it, or I'm open-minded about it. But is he influencing this in some way? Because you just questioned whether or not Elaine was influenced by him. Could she also be being influenced by him?
Right.
Yeah. Or just is she a dark friend? What do you think? Is Alida
I think she
a Black
is.
Aja?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not convinced she's Black Aja. I think she's just a narcissist.
All right, next we are in the Aiel Waste. We have some...
Right, at the end of episode 2, our party was greeted by quite a few Aiel, including Ruark, including Bear, and these people, they're on their way to a place, a specific place.
Riod, began with an R, Riodin or something. But is that where, like, sort of right after that, they saw the Tuathalan all burnt?
That is, yeah. This is on that walk. They do come across the Tuathalan that are burnt up and stabbed. I don't know if they were burnt. Yeah.
Right. But their trailers were.
It was suggested that the Tuathalan are generally not targets of the Aiel. Ruark says that this is not the way of the Aiel, but a name, the Shido, came up, and they said, well, maybe it's the Shido. And I don't know if we've heard anything else about them. Do you have any thoughts about this?
When they mentioned it, I thought that they also were Aiel. That they said they were Aiel, but they were like another clan of Aiel.
Like the Apache versus a Cherokee?
Yeah, I mean...
I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, they're all Aiel. It's just a different little kind of sect. So it seemed like they were, and that they obviously were a bit more violent.
Yeah, their code of ethics does not seem to cover that moratorium on killing tinkers. Yeah, so they're off to Viridian. Viridian is the place that we learn that all the clan chiefs go to become clan chiefs. All the wise women go to become wise women. And it's a place that the Karakhan definitely has to go and face the trials there in order to...
You know what? This was a really confusing episode. It really was. It really lost because they're mentioning things and they're bringing things in. And I have no idea. And they're bringing so many topics in that I really got lost. Now, I don't know if the Shadow people are going to be after Rand now because they have to hurry to get to this place because they're in the area. I have no idea. No one mentioned them before. Now they're going to be a problem. I don't know. Right. And there's,
Yeah, there is a lot more happening, and kind of with each of the storylines, if they introduce kind of 2 or 3 more, like either names or things, then it does get confusing, right? We have everything that is going on in the Aiel Waste, and yeah, there's a lot. As we kind of just said, there's trying to figure out, like, are there bad Aiel and good Aiel, and is somebody going to be a wise one? Is somebody, like, there's just a lot happening there in the midst of the dreams and all the little sidebar conversation.
Right, the dreams are another thing because Egwene whispers to Rand, she's like, oh, see that woman there? She was in my dreams last night. Mm-hmm. And Bear's like, no, girl, you were in my dream. Weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How's that possible? Yeah.
So all that is happening, and then later we'll talk about, like, then everything happening in Two Rivers, and then everything happening with, like, Elaine and her family, and then everything happening with Alida, and then everything happening with Matt, and so everyone is somewhere, and so with that, there's a lot of new stuff being introduced. I felt fine kind of with the progression all the way through, but I'm not sure how much I caught of everything that matters, because we always find that things matter.
Yeah, and this is valuable information because
the little things that we miss.
This is what Dan and I cannot relate to because this is our world, right? So for you to be able to say like, yeah, this is meaningless to me, or confusing.
And I won't say meaningless, and I wasn't totally lost. I just, again, you have to be patient with it, of like, okay, all right, I'm being introduced to something that I don't know why yet. I mean, eventually maybe I'll know, or I'll figure it out. But and then for you guys, that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe they just mentioned Ruidian.
They're like, well, with the Shido here, we got a split. We got a blood feud with these cats, and it ain't good. But Ruark's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to stay and bury the bodies because that's the right thing to do. Goes over to Bayar. They do the forehead touch, right?
There you go.
Shade on my heart.
Yes.
See, that was very romantic, and you could tell like they've been together for a very long time, and I feel like he's gonna die.
Oh.
That was a little too like. Oh,
he was such a good guy.
Oh, nice. So he's probably gonna die.
Yep. You're gonna get the Layla
It's
treatment.
terrible.
He's a nice guy. Stand to bury the dead. Like all these things. So.
Yeah, gotta fridge them. All right, the next scene is the apple blossom scene. Alana is coming in, talking very personally with Perrin, and we hear about Layla.
The Ibars have a... Oh,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, and the tradition that is beautiful, that they bury their dead with an apple seed in their hands, and that every one of these trees represents a loved one passing away. I think that's beautiful.
Right. That was beautiful.
That's really cool.
Graveyard.
And should we be concerned about Maxim?
I thought that Maxim was there because of the other guy. The other guy had the bond with her. He couldn't handle the constant bond with her and said, no, you just bond with him. I will, when needed, send it to me, but not on a regular basis. And now what she's doing on a regular basis, it's bugging him. And the other one was the go-between, or I mean the boyfriend, and she was his girlfriend. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
So answering the question of is there a bond between warders, I didn't get the impression that there was a bond the way that they describe it, right? Like not the same bond that is between an Aes Sedai and her warder. You know, but they are in a relationship and they love each other, and so the devastation of losing someone you love is there. I mean, they say it's a lot stronger, you know, if you're bonded, but it's still there. And then later in the episode, we do hear from Maxim being so concerned because she doesn't seem to be mourning Yvonne. She seems to be fine. She's, you know, she's putting her grief aside. So and since he's bonded to her, he can kind of feel all that too. So, I mean, I guess you don't have to be bonded to the other warder if you're both, you know, if you're bonded to her and can feel everything.
Everybody mourns differently.
Everybody grieves differently, exactly. So I mean, I think she's grieving and Maxim's grieving, and so it's just.
Did like the apple blossoms. I thought that was beautiful.
And then, and I don't know, I mean, right, while with Perrin and all of them in the Two Rivers, then we meet these other, I thought that was, that what you're showing now was really cool, because, I mean, when they first showed her and she had that on her face, you know, it looked like warrior paint. And I was thinking, like, oh, she's ready to go.
Right? Yeah.
The shit out of Leandrin.
So
I was thinking it was more warrior paint. So it was really
now cool. In retrospect, it seems to reflect her tears, perhaps.
It very much does, yeah.
Perrin buries his wedding ring that had snapped when the axe that he had in his room attacked him. Oh, then we meet.
Yeah, so that's what I was starting to say. We kind of meet these other people.
Next scene, we have the crew in the Two Rivers hiding away, and in walks
Hunters of the Horn.
Figuring that they're hunters of the horn. And we all know where the horn is.
Perrin's all, guess what?
Don't look.
Yeah.
I don't know how significant they're going to wind up being. I really have no idea, because they're passing through, so they're not in with the town people and know the five and all of that. So I don't know how significant they're going to be.
But the woman, we saw the woman much more than throughout the episode, and she introduced herself, and she had the same name as Lan's horse.
Right.
Mandarb, I think, right?
Yeah. And she's like, it means blade.
That name, yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I think, she'll be more significant than the other guy, but I don't know why, except maybe she's kind of checking Perrin out, right?
There is a bounty on Perrin's head. The White Cloaks have offered, I think, 100 gold pieces or something.
Okay.
Are these strangers going to be an issue? Now, Perrin does want to turn himself in.
Yeah, I think everyone he finds will be an issue, and I think we see that later, right? That in the town, everyone's like, oh,
you're worth how much?
Yeah, exactly. But then he convinces them to stay together, right? Because he's like, if everyone, I know I'm probably jumping around, but at least in that storyline, everyone from the town wanted to turn him in to get the money, and then he convinced them not to go out to their farms, because if they're at their farms and there's only a few of them, then the Trollocs gonna get them. And Perrin's more afraid of the Trollocs than the White Cloaks or anyone else. He's like, I don't care about anyone else. We can deal with them. The Trollocs are...
Yeah, and they're also the catch-22. If they get rid of the White Cloaks, then they're subject to the Trollocs.
Right.
So the White Cloaks are actually defending them from the Trollocs, whether they know it or not, or want it or not.
Yeah, or want it or not, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, and until he kind of confronted everyone, it was a concern that anyone knew he was there, because they all wanted to turn him in, but he does not care.
Right. The issue with the White Cloaks is they have Natty Cawthon. They captured her.
You know what? And the girls had grown up. It was so cool to see.
Yeah.
That they had grown up. They were doing good.
Yeah, because it's been a couple of years.
Because last time we saw them was how many years ago? Yeah. Well, enough to grow a little tree.
Right.
Yeah. So it'd been a while.
Right.
We have this scene with Min and Matt. Matt is like struggling, trying to get some sleep. He's just hearing all the screams and cries. In walks Min in her Nancy Pelosi power suit. She
looks like she's saying, Matt, I found the perfect 3-bedroom, 2-bath for you. It's in a cul-de-sac with a deck.
Great school district.
Think of the school district, Matt.
What do you guys think of her outfit?
Oh, it's hideous.
Okay.
It's a disguise, but I still love her.
She has tuxedo lapels, I believe.
You know what I don't like about her outfit is she's wearing pants, like billowy pants with boots, and it doesn't work. Like the pants need to be like narrower, or the boots like that. That's what I don't like about her outfit. It was her pants and boot combo.
Boots
it wasn't the shoulder pads.
No, I think the queen took all the shoulder pads.
Okay. There's a law how wide your shoulders can go.
Yeah. I think you know what? I think it's a costume or a disguise.
Yeah, and Matt was obviously concerned about her. She's just trying to get him to forgive her, kind of, or knows that she wasn't being.
Did she take oaths that she can't really take away like that, or was she just kind of? She was with the Forsaken. She was working with the Forsaken intimately. She knew it was the Forsaken. The Forsaken's like, I'm gonna take away your power, and then you'll be normal. And she's like, rad. Mm-hmm. Whether she was duped or not, doesn't that mean that she is a dark friend?
I guess I don't know how you define a dark friend. Is a dark friend anyone who does anything bad, or is a dark friend somebody who follows the Dark Lord all the time? This was a kind of a means to an end, where she's like, okay, I'll do that, but I'm not worshiping him.
I think there's an oath involved. So I guess, do you think she took some oath?
No.
Okay.
No, I think she was just.
I think it was an even exchange.
Up with them to get what she wanted, but isn't.
Yeah, if Ishamael goes to a bakery and has a transaction with the baker's not a dark friend.
Right. There you go.
This is something different, kind of. But who knows? Who knows? Gray Man, they go, oh, they run outside. The Gray Man is dead. Up runs Varen saying, oh, so girls, I have this. Holy cow, what happened? She's like, gives a Gray Man. He's stabbed. She's like, all right.
And it was weird, right? Because Elaine used the one power and kind of knocked him out, but then he had been stabbed. So she didn't stab him, so they don't know who did.
And she points out that Varen didn't inquire as to who stabbed him.
Yeah, so puts Varen under suspicion.
Is this the same Gray Man that we saw Mogideon create?
I think it was. I think like Joachim or whatever.
Joachim.
Spooky. That sounds spooky.
Joey Chim.
But I think it was. I don't know. I guess it didn't have to be, but the hair looked like the same.
So if she never wondered who stabbed him, and she may have stabbed him and killed him so that they did not get killed. That's a good thing, right?
I mean, it's a good thing. Whoever killed him, that's a good thing.
But why hide it? Why hide it?
Yeah, for them. So it's just curious as to.
And it was pretty quick.
Very fast, right? Why not?
No.
They're forsaking her because they're killing them all. Seems like they're trying to kill a bunch of people.
Didn't they say they were after the main five? They said not only are they after Matt, they're after the five. And
who said that when Lanfear was talking with the other two guys?
I think something Land said.
A couple of them said, in the very beginning, he said, we're all not safe. And that's why they said, we'll stay together. And then they all split up. But they've all they're all in danger. It's not just one. So I think that wherever they find out there's someone here, we're going to send someone to get them.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about Moraine and Lanfear's plan in order to separate Rand from his friends, gosh, it sure was successful.
Right.
The only one who's there is Egwene, and I'm sure
that barnacle,
that brown-haired chit, and I'm sure that Lanfear's not going to be happy about that.
All right, so
this is a cool beachside town. It looks like Monaco,
Hawaii.
Hawaii. Werewolf Tanchico.
Yeah, Tanchico.
Yeah, and everyone there was wearing the veils over their faces, right?
Love it.
This was actually really, really cool. Just the town, those veils were just funky. And Leandrin was wearing one, but the others weren't. So if it's that's where she's from, right? So she was doing the local custom.
Mm-hmm. Naomi has her battle mullet. Battle mullets are a thing, right? I think.
Yeah. Min and Naomi have the same hair. She looks amazing.
I was in the green group. I changed a little. I have to tell you that red outfit is amazing, and her hair in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so full, and it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, it was crimped. You can get that on late night TV. The crimping iron.
Back in the 80s.
Yep.
Exactly. But this was a big episode for Leandrin, right? So we learned, right? So she walked in and stopped the wedding of this gross old man or older man to this young girl. Learned that that's what happened to her, right? So that's a thing in Tanchico, maybe. Got that revenge. So we learned a lot, and then she was able to kind of honor her son and do the second half of the ritual.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a big. I've always thought I liked Leandrin a lot, and she's so complicated.
Yeah, can't. What a sympathetic backstory she's building.
And we had got sympathy with her before when we saw her son dying, right? So they're she's a complex character.
Yeah.
And then she pulls someone's
The
heart
situation was when after she drew the second tic-tac-toe on the ground, she's sitting there waiting for her son to show up. It looked like to me she's not that it's going to hurry it up, that he's going to come back. I don't know if that
just pop in.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. That's what I thought she was doing. She was looking around okay, where are you?
There was to be it seems that there was some sort of resurrection plan going on with her, huh?
Yeah, I wasn't catching all that, but
she puts this poor girl out of her misery, or does she? Is this the right call? She just basically enfeebles this.
She's sympathizing with her, or knowing and empathizing, actually knowing where she was, and she even said that to the Brown. I said I was kind of it'll be better. It's better to not have anything than what she has.
So Elida uncovers that Min is a super spy. Here she's buttoned up, looking good. She's sympathizing because she also has foretelling abilities, and she's sussed out.
The sun is always on the window side of the rooms. There's always the sun.
How did she know that she had? How did she know she had the visions? It's not something that the people look at her and go, "Oh, your vision."
Yeah, she not only understands she has visions, but also who sent her to spy on her.
And she calls her a seer. She's all, "You're a seer, aren't you?" She's all, "Me too." Except for my foretellings take a long time. Yeah, so she's in the know from somebody in the tower. In terms of who Min is, like not just that she's right, and she was put to wait on her on purpose because she said somebody gave me really good advice, like pay attention to who your servants are. So she paid attention to.
Now, who was that?
Figured out.
Was it
G? Gabriel.
Was it the bad guy? Yeah.
And then they have this complicated conversation where, for some reason, Elida just starts telling Min her plans and says, "Well, promise not to say this thing I'm going to tell you right now." What is she getting at here?
I think she seemed to reference this a little earlier in the episode too, and we were thinking that she kind of wants to oust the Amyrlin.
But if she's reporting all what she's seeing, so is she testing? Like, does she believe Min will go tell everyone this, or do you think Min will keep this a secret?
See, that's the thing is she telling her this because Min is dark and we don't realize it? Or maybe she isn't dark and we are assuming? I don't know. There's a lot of I don't knows.
Right. Or as you're kind of getting at, is she telling her this so that then she can throw somebody off the scent or whatever, right? She's in your dreams.
Right, she's saying, "I keep dreaming about the Shanshan woman who is torturing her." She gets like an info dumper on that.
Yeah, that seems a little weird to me. Go, Cass.
See, I was wondering if maybe either she is dead and Lanfear is taking her memories and body and doing this to her in a dream, or she isn't dead. But that's what I was confused as to which it could be. So that's what I thought it might be.
See, I feel like the flashbacks she's having during her dreams of Rena are just those kind of nightmare flashbacks as part of a dream. It seems like when they're in the dream world and talking to people, it's that's a whole other kind of weird type dream thing. So dreaming of things that don't happen versus nightmares of memories like PTSD of something that did happen. So me, I wasn't seeing her dreams as kind of the same. I don't know if that makes sense. I was like, okay, the Rena, that's a PTSD deal going on, and then seeing and talking to these other people.
But is she now dream walking through memories and then winding up in other people's dreams? Is she now dream walking?
Spend some time on this. Lanfear explains that she believes that there's a way that she can escape her dark oaths.
If the dark one dies.
Is that what she says?
Has the dark one come back? Because 5 more have come back, but I don't know if it's the main guy main dark one has come back. Assuming
it's the Forsaken that have come back, not the dark one.
Yeah, so do you have to go through all the generals before you get to the captain or whatever?
I don't know if we've ever seen the dark one, right? So in the very first season, that battle at the center of the earth, that was a Shamael there. And I thought it was the dark one when we saw that, but it wasn't. So
no, it's just as strong as Lieutenant.
Yeah. I don't think we've seen the dark one yet. We're just seeing all his cronies.
What do we think Lanfear is getting at here? Is she being sincere? Is she manipulating? What are we doing here?
I think she's sincere, and I think she still wants Rand. Is she horny?
Okay.
No, she's trying, man. I think they boned.
All right, so this is interesting. That we have a moment in the sweat tents. We get to kind of immerse ourselves in the IEO culture. There's some fun. Is she looking at you? Is she looking at me? Like they're each other's wingman right here. Ends up Lan leaves with this woman with a tattoo on her back. It turns out that she is Malkiri, which is Lan's culture, and that
it was. I mean, she basically was saying. I think she was found by the IEL. I don't know how old she was, but she was found by the IEL. But she was like, "You're my king. I'll go with you. If you want to go back and fight, we'll fight." And she recognized his sword as his father's, right? So he's her king. So she's, even though she's basically seems kind of like raised by the IEL, she's still willing to go and fight for where they came from.
And I see a lot of parallels to the Native Americans in their some of their practices.
Oh, the IEL.
With the peat hut, yeah.
Mm-hmm. As long as one man wears the Hadori, Malkir lives.
And is that little headband? I guess. So that's
wait, I'm sorry, little headband? Thing's enormous.
It is enormous.
That's what she said.
It's like it's the size of my body.
Not those eyebrows, though.
I double wrapped it. Here, Perrin is doing the right thing. It seems he hears that his friend's mom and family are captured. He's like, well, they're pretty much my mom and family. They want me. I did kill this guy. I'll just turn myself in. And they're like, no. You're not going to do that.
It hasn't come into significance as to why his eyes are still gold. If he's got the lion or the wolf abilities and so forth, it hasn't helped him yet.
Well, we haven't seen as much, and maybe it's because he's not, kind of with the wolves or with the other guy, but his eyes are yellow. As soon as he came out of the gateway, he was tracking. He's like, oh, there's tracks here, and knew exactly what the tracks were. So we're seeing that there's these, tendencies or whatever. We haven't seen him eat raw meat lately, but...
You're right. Yeah.
But you're right. It's much more subtle. We're not seeing kind of how crazy it was when he was sort of living with the pack, but the eyes are there, so it's kind of the reminder that there's still wolf.
Mandarb does not seem to mind that the yellow eyes. She's flirting with them, I guess, or talking shit. She says, I've never seen someone try to turn themselves in and fail.
Oh yeah, good idea. And let's reflect on this a tiny bit. The entire village is like, no. Yeah, I'm sure you had a reason to kill that guy. Don't worry about it. We're not. Hey, you're from our street, man. We protect our own, and we're not snitches. We're not gonna rat on you. Don't worry about it. You're just gonna hide. We'll capture. We'll get them out. Don't worry about it. So yeah, they are not like. I mean, justice. Isn't there justice to be had here? I mean, Perrin did kill a guy because they killed his dog.
It was in warfare. I don't understand what's going on.
They're
in the middle of a battle. There's different rules going on, different laws.
It's a dog.
He's going to be hung anyways.
It's a dog. You do not get away with that.
Yeah, he totally took John Wick.
He went John Wick on. Yeah, he went John Wick on his ass.
Seriously.
All right, so then Perrin has his come together speech. He tells everyone he has a dream, and that dream is that they all work together and they're stronger together. And after that, we have a fun scene with Matt, Alad, and Gawain.
Oh my gosh, this was so much fun.
Yes.
Or Matt beat the shit out of him with a stick. Because it looked like he was being really lame, trying to hit him.
All I could think of.
So stupid. What are you doing? And then he beat the shit out of him. And Nynaeve was fully entertained.
He's like playing Snoopy.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Now, Nynaeve is going to need a warder. Matt.
Okay, who's that going to be? One of these guys?
I was thinking Matt.
Matt.
All three of them.
Yeah, hey. But no, I was thinking she'd go from Matt.
Nynaeve
They're going to be traveling together anyway. He's going to be...
Yeah, Nynaeve's like, well, I'm off to Tanchico, because that's where everyone's going. And Matt's like, well, me too. Hashtag. No one... They don't know how to fix me. No one can do it. If anyone can do it, it's you. I'm with you anyways. You're my wisdom.
I'm with her.
I'm with her. Hashtag I'm with her.
Yeah.
we noticed that? Oh, there she is. Well,
Shadows.
Pretending to be a servant.
Shadows in the softly?
Yeah, whatever it was that she said, but always in the shadows. And then I think she says that as she walks away, too.
All right, so that's the end of episode.
What's interesting is that's the first time we've really seen, like, a Forsaken in the room getting the intel of what's going on. Because the Forsaken always seem to know, right? They're always, like, something's happening and they know where they're at the inn and they know, like, Nynaeve and Elaine are in the library or whatever, so we don't know how they know things. But now we're seeing her get the intel.
Yes.
Well, and she's getting intel from the Black Sisters, right?
Right. So
but she isn't, like, full force in there, even though ostensibly they're on the same side. So she is spying on her own side to a certain degree.
I guess I'm not 100% sure of whose side who is on, right? I know there's the Black Aja, and I know there's the Forsaken, and but to your point, I mean, they're all evil, but clearly the Forsaken even don't get along amongst themselves. So yeah, I'm not sure who's on whose side.
If that's the case, then who is Leandrin's boss?
I don't. I feel like Leandrin's in this all for herself. She's got very personal reasons of why she wants this more access to more dark magic. That there's something more going on than her just kind of worshiping the Dark One because she's a follower. I don't think Leandrin's a follower. I think she's the other Black Aja. That might not be the case with the other Black Aja, right? The other Black Aja are probably, more in it for.
Okay, because I wonder, would she be working for Lanfear to get this? No, right? Would Lanfear want a collar and bracelet?
I don't. Yeah. My impression was not that she was trying to do this for Lanfear. My impression is she has a plan herself.
I think the Black Aja want to rule the other Ajas, and they're trying to get the stuff so that they can be in charge of dick and balls.
As always, we end it with a rating of 1 to 10. The first two got really high ratings. We'll start with you, G-Mama. What would you give this episode?
High 7s, probably. I liked it. I did like it, but as kind of Lady Kathryn mentioned earlier, because everyone is split up and there's just a lot going on and a lot happening. So to kind of try and keep track of and new names are thrown out is a little bit confusing. But I still quite liked it, and I like that things are moving. Right? I like just the progression. So I'm going 8. I'll go 8.
Okay, solid 8.0. Kathryn?
7.5.
7.5.
Yep.
Okay.
What do you guys?
I would give it low 8s. I'd give it probably an 8.3.
I'll give it a solid 8.
I gave it the highest score, I guess. Wow.
Is it because it brought a lot of the books in it for you guys?
Yeah, there is a lot for the book readers in these first 3 seasons. I was very interested to see if it translated to you, because there was a lot that book readers are just going gaga about. So many references, so many Easter eggs, so many subtle things, direct quotes from the books. So yeah, there's a lot to like as a book reader. But I did felt that this episode, which had a different director than the first 2, was paced a little bit awkwardly. And there was a lot of jumping around that felt like earlier seasons type of jumping around. But yeah, I still think it's great, and the action sequences are still great, and every time they use one power, I'm always excited.
We did see another shot of them walking the most impossible route to their town again.
Right. And yeah.
So, Lady Kathryn, G-Mama, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week reviewing episode 4. Until then, make sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for all of our content. We do all kinds of stuff. Look at our playlists.
And everyone, run for your lives. This is The Way of the Leaf.